stand in the rain as long as it took to vote in a gubernatorial race to send a message to Donald Trump. You look at 2018 and you see just a historic sweep for the Democratic Party, getting more votes, winning by more votes over Republicans in the congressional races than any other time in the history of America. It wasn't that the Democrats magically put up all of these wonderful candidates in 2018. There were some good ones, but it was that people were motivated to go out and vote against Donald Trump. And Jonathan Lemire, you look at these numbers again, Florida plus 13. I think there was another Florida poll out that might have had it 7, 8, 9. I think the average is probably around 7 or 8. Pennsylvania plus 11. Again, double digits make sense to me in Pennsylvania more so than Florida, because you look at the Philly suburbs, you look at the huge numbers that Biden's going to roll up out of Philadelphia. Western Pennsylvania and the Pittsburgh suburbs are doing pretty well there. The Trump team is, but nothing like 2016. Pennsylvania is going to be a rocky road. We know how bad Michigan's going to be. You have Texas in the mix. You have Georgia in the mix. You have Arizona in the mix. 3 states 8 months ago that the Trump team thought they were going to win. So I say all of this, what does the campaign think? You can't just pull up the stakes and go home. So what is the Trump campaign thinking right now? What is the White House thinking? How do they, the water's flooding onto the decks? What do they do? Especially since, as you talked to me last week about the Trump team's problem, that people start voting early over the next month and a half.
Yeah, there is widespread alarm, Joe, and it's not that early anymore because of early voting beginning in a few weeks. We are now in the middle of the summer. The efforts to expand the map are all but gone, as you just tick through the states. The New Mexicos, the Minnesotas, that's not going to happen. And they're facing significant deficits in states that they really kind of have to win. Michigan's been on the verge of being gone for a while. The Pennsylvania, you and I have been talking Pennsylvania for a while. We were surprised, in fact, the polls didn't have Joe Biden up more, particularly considering his strength around Scranton in that area. He is from Scranton. Yeah. It's been discussed. And now, of course, we are seeing the margins grow there as well. And let's circle back to Florida. And maybe so. Maybe the margin is more like 7 or 8 rather than 13. But that is still, Florida's a state the president, he can't win. There's no path without Florida. He's not going to get reelected if he loses Florida. And that's why partially the decision to cancel the convention yesterday was so devastating for this president. I mean, yes, he had a bout of pressure. In many ways, it was inevitable. There's surges of cases in coronavirus cases in that state. Also, a real reluctance for donors and other Republicans to go. A number of Republican senators had already said they wouldn't attend. They were having trouble raising money. They were having trouble getting guests committing to stay for a few days. The last thing the president wanted was to appear in a minor league ballpark, let's say, and only have a handful of people there. They're not going to beam in virtual fans like we saw, or cardboard cutouts like we saw last night in the baseball games. And I will say it was tough to see Mookie in a Dodgers uniform. That's going to take some getting used to. But the campaign is also running out of events to sort of change momentum. There no longer is a convention, at least not a traditional one. It'll be a speech, some virtual events. They're still trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. He can't have a campaign rally. There are no discussions right now of having rallies. They are significantly underwater. We have seen an effort this week in the briefing room to try to stick to his talking points. It's not a new tone. We've seen the tweets. But right now, they are simply in trouble, and they know they're running out of time.